But speaking of MHA, we have the latest character popularity poll to talk about, which I find very interesting on many levels. Before we even get into the results, it's worth mentioning that at least as far as Viz goes, they announced their character poll. I guess their version of the character poll back around August, which I'm assuming is pretty close to when the actual weekly Shonen Jump over in Japan probably announced their poll as well. And apparently news broke out around about a month later in September that the results of the poll were going to be delayed until November because apparently Shueisha received twice the amount of votes that they got in their last poll. And apparently it was going to take that much longer for them to count the results, which I think is absolutely insane.
But you know what's even more surprising? Viz got even more votes than the Japanese poll. Viz got over 100,000 votes in total, and the poll that Japan conducted only got over 80,000. Viz got a whole 20,000 more votes.
That's insane, especially since apparently as far as the Japanese poll goes, 2,000 of those votes came from outside of Japan. How many of those came from North America? We don't really know, but I'm assuming at least some of those came from over here too.
Yeah, maybe there were people who voted on both polls.
I'm sure there were. I would not put that past most My Hero Academia fans. But so it's really interesting because I guess like you said, Viz got over 100,000 votes for their poll, making it the biggest poll they've ever had, apparently. So a lot of people sent in a lot of votes for the poll this time around, and obviously overwhelmed Shueisha by a lot. But getting into the actual results of the poll, not much different as far as the top three, but I guess we'll start from the bottom up. So at number 10, we have All Might, Mr. Yagi Toshinori. At number 9, we have Tenya Ida. Number 8, we have Endeavor, Mr. NG Todoroki. At number 7, we have Momo Yao Yorozu. That's a mouthful. At number 6, we have Best Jeanist with Kirishima at number 5. Hawks at number 4, fairly recent character there. At number 3, we have Izuku Midoriya. Oh, poor Midoriya. At number 2, we have Shoto Todoroki. And at number 1, reigning supreme once again, Mr. Katsuki Bakugo. So, what's that? It's his second or third time placing first? Not, it's his second time for Bakugo placing first, which is pretty crazy. I guess not that crazy, because, I don't know, if you asked me last year with last year's poll, I was one of those people who was like, oh, Bakugo, why does he get first? But honestly, I could see why people would vote Bakugo over Midoriya, probably, for a couple of reasons, maybe.
What's really crazy is that in Japan, the gap between Bakugo at first place and Todoroki at second place is only about a little over 1,000 votes. Guess how big the gap between Bakugo in the US poll? Guess how big the gap between Bakugo at first place and Midoriya at second place is in the US poll.
I'm looking at it right now, and both Bakugo and Todoroki in the Japanese poll have almost basically double the votes that Midoriya has. That's insane.
Yeah, but in the US poll, in the US poll, Midoriya at second place has 11,699 votes. And at first place, Bakugo has 38,065 votes. Bakugo has 26,000 more votes than Midoriya at second place. That's how big the gap is between first and second place in the US poll. That's how insanely more popular Bakugo is than Midoriya in the US poll.
I'm torn because, I want to say Bakugo deserves it, but, I feel so bad for Midoriya.
And keep in mind, the poll had 100,000 votes. Bakugo has 40% of those votes, of those 100,000 people.
That's pretty wow. And that means he has 30,000 more votes than Todoroki even.
Yeah, he literally has 30,000 more votes than Todoroki. Todoroki had 8,934 votes. Like,
jeez.
it's insane, the gulf between the top three.
And that's like almost twice the votes he got in the Japanese poll too.
It is over twice. It is insane, the scale. Like, so the Japanese poll had 80,000 votes, so Bakugo got like 1/5 of the votes. So I guess if you were to think of it that way, no. Well, let's see. 20%. I mean, I guess it's roughly comparable. It's still, like, Bakugo got 1/5 of the votes, basically, in a vote. No, Bakugo had twice more. Bakugo had 2/5 of the votes in the U.S. poll. So yeah, like, it's double the amount of votes.
We should,
literally.
So we should probably go over the U.S. poll real quick, too, aside from the top three. At 10th place, we have Uraraka. 9th, we have Togata. 8th place, Asui, or Suyu. Number 7, we have All Might. Number 6, Eraserhead, or Aizawa. 5th place, Yaoyorozu. And 4th place, Kirishima.
Yeah, so it's interesting the characters that made the Japan poll and didn't make the US poll and vice versa. So, like, the US poll, we have Mirio, and we have Suiyu, and we have Araka.
Which, that's disappointing to me that Uraraka doesn't even place in the top 10 in the Japanese poll.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, what has she done, though, recently?
She really hasn't gotten the chance to do much, unfortunately.
But at the same time, why Best Genius? Why is he more popular than characters who have actually done stuff?
It's probably because he's hot, let's be honest.
I guess?
I'm not saying, that's not my personal opinion. I'm just saying there's probably a very dedicated Best Genius fan club out there that is responsible for that. I would not put that past Japanese fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little disappointing that only one female character ranks in the Japanese top 10, Yaoyorozu. But, I mean, the US poll is better in that it has Uraraka and Asui, even though, like, I mean, yeah, Yaoyorozu's in top 5, so that's also good for the US poll.
Man, I remember when My Hero Academia was first getting off the ground and how popular Suyu was. Like, it was kind of insane.
I mean, she's still insanely popular with US fans.
I mean, I guess that's true. I guess I'm just kind of surprised she's not as popular with the Japanese fan base.
Yeah, I mean, they've gravitated to other characters, it seems. I mean, Endeavor, they've fully embraced him, it seems. He's ranking in the top 10. I guess his redemption arc has paid off for Japanese readers. Yeah. And we got Hawks, recent character, but made a big impression. But that wasn't enough for US readers. But US readers did respond well to Mirio, and, you know, he ranks in there.
I'm glad that Aizawa ranked in the top 10 in the US poll, because he's probably one of my favorite characters, honestly, in the entire series. But I'm trying to remember. I think I voted for Midoriya in the US poll. Who did you vote for?
I don't remember at this point. I feel like I voted for All Might still, but I don't remember.
See, now that you say that, I feel like I could have voted for All Might too.
I'm sad that All Might ranks so low in the Japanese poll at 10. Like, he's better in the US poll, but, like, it's kind of sad that, you know, he in the Japanese poll he's like very close to being out of that top 10. He's at number 10. Endeavor ranks higher than him. The man who physically and emotionally abused his wife ranks higher than him.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
It's just, like, kind of sad that, you know, he's ranked lower than a lot of other characters that, you know, are, I feel like, I guess Japanese fans are responding to more, but I don't know. I like All Might a lot still.
I mean, I love All Might too. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like unless he has some more relevancy in the story coming up, that, like, I feel like because he's not relevant at this point and may not be relevant for a while, that his popularity is probably going to dwindle.
But I wonder how much relevancy really matters when you have Best Jeanist at number 6. Like, you just have to leave a strong enough impression to rank highly. Like, in One Piece popularity polls, how long did Shanks, like, rank in, like, the top 10 out of, like, just one appearance in the first chapter for so many years? And then now, even today, these days, we have characters like, Boa Hancock in the top 10 recent polls, even though she hasn't been in the story for, like, 7 years or whatever.
I mean, I guess that's true. You really never know with these polls, but yeah, it's really amazing, like, how much turnout that these two single polls have had compared to the last one we had last year. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, it is really, really, really incredible. Like, the fact that the US poll got more votes than the Japanese poll is, to me, the most incredible, and really speaks to just how insanely popular MHA is here, but also it speaks to, like, how many people are reading it and, like, are going on Viz's site to read it, because the only way you would find out about this poll is if you were regularly visiting Viz's site to read the manga or any of the manga on there.
Or maybe, like, on Twitter or something.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably see it passed around on Twitter, but I feel like this speaks to, like, the audience there is in North America that's, like, reading MHA and how big that is, and, like, I think maybe that's also a sign of why Viz has decided to take a chance on their new subscription service, is because the audience is there and they're, like, eager to read series like MHA.
Mm-hmm. The only other thing I have to add is I'm waiting for the day that Bakugo gets knocked off of first, which I feel like won't be for a long time. But, like, I feel like it has to happen at some point. Like, I want my boy Midoriya to get on top.
I mean, the gulf is vast between them in both polls, so...
Yeah.
It's gonna take some work, it seems.
I mean, I guess that speaks to how much of an impression Bakugo leaves, and really, I think, also speaks to the character development and growth he's had over the past couple of years or so.
I mean, it was pretty great timing that these poll results were published and the week a chapter demonstrating Bakugo's character growth in the manga was published.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, the most recent chapter is showing off how Bakugo has grown as a person, as a team player. So that was quite fortuitous timing to release this poll on the same week as that chapter. But yeah.